Namaskaram, namaskaram to all of you wherever you are. We are here at Cahokia Mounds city in Missouri. This is just day 3. But as all of you know, across the world, in many places where people thought the virus situation is settling down, is again ramping up, second coming happening in many places. This is important for us to understand that there is no such thing as, it's not like a screen will come down and say, okay, virus is over. It is there. It is just that we have to make it ineffective by being responsible and cautious about what we are doing and conscious about the way we exist to ensure that it doesn't have too much impact. Well, United States, India, Brazil, Russia, still on the top, UK is again coming up. Fortunately, the fatalities are going down. This means that we are handling it better, both at homes and in hospitals. But still, the numbers are very high. This is not a time to let our guard down. This is a time to ensure that the virus is made ineffective by the way we behave, because there is no magic cap on the virus itself. Well, as human beings, we are super concerned about this virus, but we ourselves have been like a virus on this planet. The recent WWF report about the Global Living Planet report that's happened, doesn't speak well at all about us. From 1970 to 2016, the average decline of 68% of mammals, birds, amphibians, reptiles and fish has happened. 68%. In about 50 years' time, nearly 70% of significant life on this planet is gone for no other reason than the human virus. Most alarming drop has happened in Latin America and the Caribbean islands. 94% of vertebrate wildlife populations are wiped out. 94%, yes, you're hearing the number right. 1 million wildlife species are threatened with extinction. What is our plan for this planet? We are very concerned about virus killing us, about virus affecting us. I know this may sound brutal at a time like this, but we need to understand that our behavior on this planet has been more virulent than the virus. Of course, immediately everyone will jump to this question, what can I do, what can I do? What we can do is the next thing, but first thing is to make the planet conscious that this is where we stand. It's very simple. In the sense, it is not something that you correct overnight. Do we have a clear-cut plan for next 25 years, 50 years, 100 years? This is the first question. Whatever the goals that were set for… to be achieved by 2020, from 2010 to 2020, none of those goals have been met. Well, governments have to get together, but governments, at least today, in large part of the world, are just people, not descendants from heaven, people who got elected. Why are elected people not doing what is needed for the people? Well, simply because people themselves have not asked what they really want. We as people on this planet have not made it very, very clear that this is what we want. We are busy in our competitions, we are busy in desperately trying to be better than somebody else. In this game of one-upmanship, the planet is taking a huge toll. Plant extinctions are 2 times as high as mammals, birds and amphibians combined, the number of plants which are just vanishing from the planet. We need to understand the richness of life on this planet. The complexity of life that we are is a consequence of the complexity of species that have happened, the biodiversity. Without that, this life cannot happen in its present form. Or in other words, we are pulling out the foundation stones of our existence. Yes, virus is a concern, but we behaving like virus, we conducting ourselves like brainless virus with excessive compulsive activity is a bigger concern than some virus killing us. Well, if we don't fix this, in the next couple of decades, if significant action doesn't happen, well, climate change does not mean there'll be just floods and cyclones. When the biodiversity is lost, the very basis, the foundation stones of our existence are being undone. Are we making a statement that the only way to fix is that a whole lot of us must die, mass extinction of human beings need to happen, or mass murder? This is mass murder, I'm telling you. This is not about accusing anybody, all of us are a part of it. So when all of us are a part of it, the problem is let all of us act, and that's not going to happen. You must act. Every one of us must act in our life. What is it? Simple acts of saving water, doing this, not throwing plastic, yes, these are all wonderful things, but that's not going to do this. One most important thing, this may look like I'm a broken record, that I'm going on repeating the same thing again and again and again. I'm saying this once again. One of the simplest ways right now, in the given conditions, at present level of human populations, one of the simplest thing that we can do is put back 35 to 40% of the land under tree cover. Without this, we are not going to create an atmosphere for biodiversity to exist and flourish. Well, this may not bring back the vertebrates, at least it will keep the microorganisms going, which is most vital for our existence. the way things are shaping up for the planet, it's not about the planet. Planet will exist. Planet is not in peril. It is human beings. Either we come out of this consciously or a disaster will bring us back into senses is left to us. The immensity of suffering we have caused to every creature on this planet is too much. Right now, just by correcting a little bit of lifestyle is not going to fix that. One significant aspect is definitely that we need to recover for sure. Another is we have to plan that in the next 25 to 50 years, human populations are reduced, because reducing human consumption, yes, we must work towards that, but reducing human aspirations is far more difficult than reducing human population. What should we do? Well, you don't have to plan a genocide, that's not the way to do life. We simply have to postpone birth. Of course, there are people who say, where will be the workforce? If you postpone birth, the power of population, I think you lost your mind. You don't seem to see the picture that is staring in front of you. You have become a marketplace in your head. Because of that, you are thinking, where are the consumers to sell my products? Where are the workers to make my products? This is not the way to look at life. I'm saying in 50 years, nearly 70% of significant life on this planet, vertebrates means in the evolutionary scale of things, it took millions of years to get them there. 70% of that life we have wiped out. If you don't wake up now, well, the planet may decide to put a lot of us to sleep. As I said, this is the third day of exploring spiritual America. I will not go into the detail of where we've been going. I think the social media is covering that, I don't want to go into that. Yeah, here is a little poem for you, because some people are out there calling Sadhguru, you're a adventure addict. No, I am not an addict of anything. In fact, the moment you become an addict to something, addict means repetitive life. Addiction means repetition. Where there's repetitiveness, where is adventure? So this is a poem, just today, fresh no repetition. It's called Adventure. When pangs of passion arise for dimensions that are of no personal concern, begins the adventure of life. When pangs of passion arise for dimensions that are of no personal concern, begins the adventure of life. What a croaking frog you should be to invest life into transactions of ventures of exchange. What a croaking toad you should be to invest life into transactions of ventures of exchange. Adventure, not a conquest, but a surrender of oneself to something that has no return on investment. Adventure, not a conquest, but a surrender of oneself to something that has no return on investment. There's no return on investment for life, because what return do you want for life? When of all the many phenomena that are happening in the universe, life is the most intricate and sophisticated, fantastic phenomena that you can have. When that's come to you as a gift, what return on investment do you want to have? May you adventure through your life.